Hello, today I'm going to run through the construction of a parallel line through a point. Alright, the first method I'm going to talk about is a parallelogram. So if you remember, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral where the opposite sides are parallel. And it's also just like a rectangle in the fact that the opposite sides are equal in length. So we're going to use that. Basically, if we have a line, we have 2 points at the bottom of the parallelogram, and that point is that corner, and we're going to find this little point over here to make our parallel line. So to show you how that works, we'll start from this end of the segment, and we'll measure how the distance. It is this long, so the top of the parallelogram from this point would also have to be that long, although we're not quite sure where that is yet. Alright, so then we would measure what we'd consider the imaginary other side of the parallelogram, and say, okay, it is this long from here to here, and if I copy that length from that point, I just caught that intersection point there. I'm going to stretch that out just a little bit. Hopefully don't change the size. So just so I am clear on that, there's my intersection point. So the bottom is the same length as the top, and the other side is equidistant to that side. So if I connect through that point to that intersection point, I create a line that is parallel to that line. Okay, the second method of constructing a parallel line is by utilizing corresponding angles. So if I'm going to do a parallel line through this line, I can think about corresponding angles, and I can draw this line anywhere through this point to make this work, but a lot of times it's easiest to go from the end point. So line going this way, it creates my first angle here that I am going to copy for the purpose of creating a corresponding angle, because parallel lines have corresponding angles that are congruent. So it makes a mark right here. These are equal distance from the vertex, and I recreate that exact same arc over here, or just about. And now the only thing I have to do to make sure I get the same angle is I measure the opening, the angle from point to point. So from point to point, if I be as accurately as I can, it is this far right here is the point I'm measuring. If I carry that up here, that gives me an intersection point, so that if I connect that point to there, it creates a parallel line through there. So those are the two methods. Either method one, you can create a parallelogram, alright, by copying the distance of the opposite sides and finding the intersection point. Or if you prefer, you can do corresponding angles by creating the angle through the line and then copying the angle